Hallmark, here we are. How mission critical is this week to kind of feel good about wanting to get to that next step next week?
Yeah, it's critical. I think where our RPI is at, we need to win this tournament. So that's the goal, and that's what we're planning on doing.
And when you say that we need to win this tournament, I mean, I guess no message needed. The guys know what we're facing.
Yeah, they know. They can read the RPI like me and you can.
Coach, 38 wins overall and 21 in conference. I don't believe any UTSA team has ever won as many as 20 in Conference USA. You've already accomplished a lot. How do you feel overall about how everything's played out to this point?
I'm proud of the team. There's no doubt. I'm proud of what we've done. So I feel good about them. I feel good about the product on the field and kind of the checking boxes as a coach that you want to check. We play hard, we play aggressive, we win our share of games. Maybe we overachieve. That's a word we use a lot around here. I'll let other people decide that. I know I'm proud of the team. I know that. And I didn't know that 21 was more wins than Conference USA than the program's ever had. So that's good too. I know the program record for total wins is 39. So
right.
There's that also. Like all these things are wonderful to hunt and be close to, and it's even better to get them. So we're trying to win this tournament, and in the process we're trying to set the school record for number of wins and make the NCAA tournament, all these things that are fun to go after. We're still doing it.
So we asked Luke about Shane's home run in the last game out there. He said Luke told us that Shane looked pretty good when he was running the bases on that homer.
Yeah, obviously the joke is just hit homers and you don't have to stress the leg, right? So if it was only that easy. But it was good to get him the at bat, and we'll see how it goes Wednesday. He wants to play, and I would like him to play, but he's got to be healthy. If he's not healthy, then he's got to be healthy enough to help us, I guess. So we'll see. He's itching to play, and I feel for him because obviously it's his last year. So my heart goes out to him, and I hope he's in there.
Yeah.
Well, when you say all those things this week, Coach Hallmark, about trying to set a school record and trying to win the conference tournament and get to next week, are you one that prescribes to it's a fresh outlook and sort of a clean slate, or let's just keep the train going the way we have?
I think it is a fresh outlook. So I think of it either way. I just try to look at it as, problem solving. Like, what's the next, as a coach, what's the next problem to solve, or give yourself the best chance to solve? Because, the other teams are doing the same thing. So it's not that easy to solve them. But, yeah, I think of it as a new season, honestly, because that's what it is, right? For the NCAA regional, everything we've done in the past matters. For this little mini tournament we're about to play in, the 55 games or whatever it is we played, they don't matter, right? So Rice has just as good a chance to win it as we do. We have just as good a chance to win it as DBU does. So I do think it's a new little clean slate, and that's the way we're looking at it. And we got to try to play well. At the end of the day, that's the recipe. People talk about the recipe is this pitcher, this. The recipe remains the same. It's throw more strikes than the other team, play good defense, and fight at the plate. That's still the recipe.
But I'm curious, are you looking at it like, guys, we've got to win this thing to make them believe in us for selection Monday next week?
Yeah. I mean, just historically, when you look at the RPI, last year, of course, history is not always exactly accurate, because last year the RPI merited a spot, right? And this year the 60 RPI or 61 RPI doesn't merit a spot. So historically, that's all we can go on. So the message is go win the tournament, and the only way to do that is to win the first game. And the only way to do that is to play good, which again boils back down to what we control. We control the ability to throw strikes. We control the ability to fight at the plate, and we control the ability to play good defense. So that's really what we're hunting, what we control. Yeah.
Coach, the last time Mississippi you faced Middle Tennessee State, it was here at the Bird Bath. You guys swept them that weekend, outscored them 30-15. Obviously, that was the last weekend before the unfortunate injuries took place, and it's a kind of a different starting nine than that time. Over the last month, you've had to kind of adjust the lineup, play the chess moves. Do you think that's given you and your guys an advantage going into tournament play where so much of it can be chess moves and trying to outwit the other coach?
I don't know is the honest answer. I don't know if it gives us an advantage or not. A healthy Shane Serdashny, gives us an advantage. There's no, you can't BS that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Everybody's got injuries, right? Like I don't know exactly what they are, but everybody's got injuries. So, it's still next man up, and it's try to play good ball. I do think our players are resilient, which I think is what you're getting at. Some of what we've had to deal with has built up a layer of resiliency, and the guys aren't going to be fazed by a negative pitch or a negative call by an umpire. It's part of the game. They've dealt with it. We've had our tough breaks like everybody else. So we are resilient, and we'll continue to be resilient. That's the plan. Yeah.
We've seen a lot of transfers come in this season and make a huge impact from the very beginning, stepping on campus. One of those guys, Taylor Smith, got off to a little bit of a slow start, has really taken off recently. After this last week, is now one home run shy of the single-season school record. What adjustments has he made throughout the season? Obviously, he started his career with you at UIW.
Mm-hmm.
You yourself were transferred to Rice. So how can you relate with these guys transferring in, and what changes have these guys made that might have got off to a slower start and now they're really firing on all cylinders?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a pretty in-depth question. I don't know how much information you want, but with Taylor, he's got all the talent in the world at the plate. He's just incredibly strong. I mean, he can miss hit balls and hit them over the net. And a lot of it, in my experience, what I've learned getting him now back is confidence. I had him as a young player at UIW, and he was fairly confident. It was more he just didn't know how good he was at the time. I think he knows how good he is, but he's had some, between the UIW year and this year, he's had some ups and downs, and maybe more downs, rough years here and there at A&M, but when he's confident, he's good. And to keep him confident, there's a couple little mechanical, so I don't know how in-depth you want, but there's a couple little mechanical things at the plate that he needs to stay focused on, and he does, right? Hitting's hard. It's hard to be perfect mechanically all the time, but when he stays back and rotates as opposed to leaning and getting his weight off balance, if he just stays back and rotates and swings the bat 3 times per at-bat, I like our chances. That's the message. Is it's hard when you take 2 strikes and you give yourself 1 chance. It makes it that much harder. So stay back and turn. That's what we tell him. Get your best swing off 3 times and see what happens.
You've already been to Reckley Park and Rice once this season, early back in March. Obviously, your alma mater, where you started your collegiate coaching career. The conference tournament is a special weekend. Obviously, every game matters. You've been around the game a long time. Is this tournament any more special because it takes you back to where you started at Reckley Park or at Rice University?
Not really. I mean, honestly, it's about these guys, UTSA players. That's what it's about, and I want them to win for them.
Yeah, we don't need the L.
Yeah.